Nearly everything you've heard about China is a lie. Nearly all of it. The stuff you were hearing about the social credit score, the stuff you were hearing about that one province, nearly all of it is just lies spread by the CIA to try and get you to hate your own allies. China doesn't hate you, they don't want to take anything from you, they're good people. I know this is some kind of shocking revelation, it's like, yeah, we over here in America, we've invaded like 50 countries in the last 2 years and murdered and raped people all across the world, but China, who just sits within their borders and does fair trade with people, they're evil. How could they possibly be the good guys? It doesn't make any sense. And it's like, sometimes I just wonder what kind of parties they must have in government, because it's so easy to get peasants to believe narratives. It's like, it must be like Candyland. You know, throw this out, people jump on it, throw that out, they're on it like ants. Let's start with the obvious. Social credit score. This whole thing, this whole idea that in China there's a big brother, and if you jaywalk, then they're gonna take notes and your social credit. This shit doesn't exist, okay? I was speaking with someone, they're like, oh, what's your argument against it existing? There's no argument against it existing. It just doesn't exist. It was coined by a journalist who basically kind of made it up. And then he came out live, publicly, and said, I kind of just made it up, my bad, and everyone else just still ran with it. That's the truth behind the entire China social credit score that everyone keeps talking about. The funniest thing about the whole idea is the idea about this social credit score, which there's supposed to be in China, is if you jaywalk and you do bad things, they lower your social credit score, it's harder to be hired, police harass you everywhere. You guys have that in America already. It's just called being black. It's like a racial credit score, except that shit is just set at birth and there's nothing nobody can do to change that. So the whole thing's a little bit ironic to me, honestly. And then you have the next thing. China is the surveillance state. You need to watch out. In China, the big brother is watching. This is a really funny idea, because I did a little Google search to find out how true this was, and I came across an interesting statistic. So out of all the countries on Earth, China actually has the second most surveillance cameras on Earth. So very, very high surveillance, apparently. You wanna know which country's number one? You guessed it, America. So apparently America can have more CCTV cameras watching everyone than China, but they're not a surveillance state. I mean, tell me how this works. But you know what, maybe I'm a paid Chinese shill. Maybe the cameras in America, they're just to find lost cats and dogs. They don't want to watch the population, that's to find Mary's lost cat. NSA, CIA, these are actually just random acronyms dedicated to finding people's lost cats. That's all they want to do with those cameras. America would never do that. America is a wholesome capitalist country, which means they would never do their people wrong. They would never experiment on their people. They would never false flag their own people. America are good peoples. You guys just have to learn to see it. Please stop believing the bullshit. It nearly gives me a brain aneurysm every time I hear this shit. What's even worse and funnier about the entire China versus USA surveillance debate is that in China, you are at the very least relatively safe. Incredibly safe. You could walk through China with a bust-down Rolex or a Richard Mille and be completely safe. Nothing is going to happen to you. In America, they have more surveillance. But God forbid you leave the house in a goddamn G-Shock, you are in danger! People really need to get a grip and learn to see through propaganda. Learn to see what's real, learn to see what's fake. The easiest way of determining when you're being lied to is if what they're saying just doesn't make sense. If the government is telling you that a country is evil, but they've invaded nobody ever, and they just deal with their own people, might be worth looking into. If the government tells you that they're horrible to their own people, but you don't see any evidence of that whatsoever, not even on fucking leak websites online can you find anything, it might be worth thinking about. It might be worth, get this, it's gonna be a radical proposition, but it might be worth investigating when you hear a claim being made to make sure that it's true. Too radical for the internet? It might be. The worst thing is, sometimes I'll tell people, do your own research on China, do your own research on conspiracy theories, come up with your own objective conclusions, and they'll come back to me, genuinely, Ishmael, I did my research. Yeah, I went on Wikipedia, they said it's not true. I wanna cry. Why do I try and speak with people? I should just give up. If you wanna learn the truth about any topic on this earth, here is the secret. Assume that everyone who's ever told you something about that topic was lying to you. You discard what you've been told before. Secondly, you begin to investigate sources at their root. You never listen to what somebody's told you about what someone said. You listen to what someone said through call recording, journals, or documents online. It's so clear when you're being lied to. These articles are clearly lying to you. You gotta think it through, man. Investigate what you're told. Some of the time, they're lying to you. You can't trust everything what you're told, even people who are on your team. Do you understand? People who are on your side, your ideological group, your ethnic group, sometimes it's just not true what they said. You have to learn discernment yourself. You have to investigate what you're told and take even those things that you're certain about with a grain of salt. That's how you do it. The best thing about a mindset of discernment is you come across so much advantage by doing this. One thing that you'll notice, in this entire war which is happening in the Middle East, between Iran and so forth, people are speaking about asymmetric advantage. The USA wants to close the Strait of Hormuz, they want to open it, they want to do whatever, but they can't, because if they try and send their heavy warships down there, which are stronger than anything Iran has, they're gonna get confronted by these speedboats. These speedboats are cheap, they're not hard to make, they don't cost a lot, but somehow it's enough. It's called asymmetric advantage. When you learn to use discernment and to see through the lies which people are trying to tell you about given governments, given places on earth, you'll begin to develop levels of asymmetric advantage other people can't match. You will find new business opportunities that other people simply haven't considered. You'll find new ways of thinking which bring you more happiness than the average peasant could ever hope to accomplish. And you'll have new experiences that a closed mind could never even fathom. I'm telling you, mano a mano, it's worth it. It's really worth undoing the programming. It's really worth undoing the slave programming. You will thank yourself for it, trust me.